Alright, about that gym life, back again, here to do another advice video. So today's topic at hand is bigger arms and the short head, long head of the biceps. So if you are an advanced lifter, or you know what you've been doing, you lift for a long time, bodybuilder, powerlifter, then this probably isn't the video for you. But if you are a beginner, newbie, and whatever else you want to call it, then this is the video for you. So the two major topics we're going to touch on would be getting actual bigger arms, making your bicep heads bigger as a whole, and the difference between the two heads, which different grips and different movements actually hit which head of bicep. So those are the two topics we're going to cover. I'm not going to cover everything. First up, we're going to get into why this bar is shaped the way it is. So a lot of people call this the easy grip bar, and I had a friend that I had just recently went to the gym with. He didn't know the difference between the grips, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people I work with over years, they just know that depending on where you grip the bar, it's easier to curl. I.e., obviously, if you take the wide grip, it's a lot easier than you taking the narrow, short grip, which is the difference between working your short head and your long head. If you do an inner grip like this, or a narrow grip, you're working the long head of your bicep, which is the outside. If you take the wide grip, or if you had a straight bar, which you would curl it, you're working the short head of your bicep, which is the inside. And the easiest way to remember which one is which is, I remember like this. When you look at your arm, this would seem like it would be the long head because it looks longer, but it's not. This is your short head. And then the same thing in reverse, your outside head would look like it's your short head, but it's not. It's your long head. So that's a simple way, or a simple trick for you to remember it. If someone asks you, or someone's trying to be funny in the gym, to see if you know what the fuck you're talking about or not. Easy way to remember that. So again, the narrow grip would be working your long head, the outside bicep head, and a wide grip would be working your short head, the inside bicep head. And that would be that. So now let's get into the mechanics of actually curling. What's a good curl? What's a bad curl? What's a half rep? What's a full rep? Let's take a look at full range of motion for your bicep curl versus half bicep curl. So full range would be that you take it all the way up, squeeze at the top, and then you bring it all the way down and let your arm almost hyperextend. You want it nice and flat like this. Now this is a home gym bench, so my preacher curl pad isn't as sharp as it would be in the real gym. They're a little bit more higher, more of a slope on this, but it still gets the job done. And it'd be the same basis. So again, you would be fully extending your arm out, almost letting it hyperextend like that, and going all of that. That would be your full range of motion in curling. Now you do get people who stop right here because it feels like that if they go any further, they're not going to bring it back up. Now stopping right here is not letting you fully let that muscle relax. So you're not going to get as much as results in your curl as if you do bring it all the way down. So always remember that, bring it all the way down, let your arm almost hyperextend, but not obviously, and bring it back up, and don't forget to squeeze at the top as if you're flexing or pulling. Now, same thing whether you're preacher curling with dumbbells or whether you're preacher curling with a straight bar or an easy bar. It's still the same principle. You squeeze at the top and you bring the dumbbell all the way down and let your arm fully extend and then back up. That's what's really going to hit your bicep heads. Let it get that full stretch and then contraction with the squeeze at the top, as well as a little trick that I like to do, twisting your hand a little bit as you bring it up. Now the benefit of doing dumbbell preacher curls over a bar preacher curl or barbell preacher curl is that as you start to get into your negative reps or your failure reps, you can use your other hand to help you to go further into the burn reps, which are the reps that they're basically building the muscle. So if you can't get it, you always can use your opposite hand to help bring it up. The same as preacher curl, it's just your preference. You see a lot of people, they'll get on the back of an incline bench and they'll get the dumbbells and their curl just like that. Now this is basically the same as a preacher curl. Okay, it's pretty much no difference. It's the same body mechanics, the same almost incline. The only difference is that I'm standing, so I have more of my own natural body weight as a counterweight as opposed to sitting and having to plant your feet as a counterweight. And then when you bring it down, if you run out of energy, you can rest. And then if you want to take a few seconds, you can continue. That is the only big difference here. But it's the same body mechanics of the movement of your arm down and up at an incline. Is seated incline dumbbell curls, which is one of my favorite curl movements, or arm movements, if you so to say, whatever how you want to phrase it. But one of my favorites because it's one of the most that you'll get gains from in your biceps. Because what it is, it's basically the same as a spider curl or a crab curl. There's multiple different names for it, but it's basically the same principle of it's your arms free hanging and the weight of the weights letting your arms stay fully extended as you bring it down. So it's you fighting the gravity and the weight and bringing your arm up. So it's no swaying and none of that. It's basically all bicep strength that's bringing the dumbbells up. So
alright, first thing, you stand here like this in this fixed position, and you do it again. You know? Your bicep needs to stretch, it needs to contract, it needs to stretch, it needs to contract. You're here like this.
looks just like this. Lay back, plant your feet, and then bring them up. Just like that. You was at the gym and you had the gym dumbbells. When you bring it up, try to get that little twist at the top when you bring it up. The reason why I say do the twist at the top is if you look at your arm, when you curl or you raise your arm up, it balls up, right? So your bicep balls up. But now keep your hand flat out. Now when you twist your hand in, you can see the bicep contract that much more when you twist it. You get a little turn. That's the benefit of adding that twist into your dumbbell. Monkey curls or crab curls or whatever you want to call them would be like this. You would be on an incline that's bolted to the floor. This isn't bolted to the floor, so I'm not going to fully do it. I'm not going to fall over. But it'd be like this. It's pretty much the same thing as the CD. Your arms are dangling down, fully extended, and then you curl up. It's pretty much the same. A straight bar, easy bar, it's still the same, except that it's not more. It's less isolated when you use a bar. Obviously, using both of your biceps, but it's still the same thing. It's just bringing it up, squeezing at the top, and then your arms go back to that negative dangling motion, and then bringing it back up. So again, whether you use a bar like this or back to dumbbells, it's still the same motion of the dangling arms and then up. As you see, this is being arched over with the chest digging into the bench like this is that you're using your body weight more to compensate when it starts getting heavy and you can't do it. So you're basically, that little swing sway that you're doing is the brace of your body weight against this counter. The key to curling and hitting the long head with the straight bar or the barbell bar is pretty much the same thing. You move your hands close to the inside and then curl. Now the only thing I would watch out in doing this movement is you don't want to put a lot of weight for this, being that your arms are in an awkward position because it's a lot of pressure on your forearms. And it might even feel as if your bone is actually going to break. Sometimes I even get that in just the regular curling motion. If it's too heavy, you'll start to feel a real pain sensation on the bone. So that can be a little hint to lower the weight. Looking for more of that Train with Kai Green arms video, be sure to look for that on YouTube or on musclebeds.com. That video is what changed my whole outlook on training, period. And obviously it helped me learn everything I needed to about arms. So with all of those movements that you've seen, that is everything you will need to work both your short head and long head and to grow your biceps. So as always, about that gym life, more to come. Be sure to check out some of the other videos that you'll see in the up and coming clip, and keep clanging them and banging them. Now if you're a power lifter and you do all of that,